Look now. Hey, this is Garth Holman and Travis Pennington, Travis Armstrong. We're kind of just testing a piece of software that we found to see if this works. And Travis, why don't you talk a little bit about the software and what it is?
So the software is called Baiboard, Baiboard. And if you're familiar with Explain Everything, it seems to be kind of like that, where we can manipulate the screen, we can draw on it, and so forth. What prompted us to trying to find this was the fact that both of us can draw on it at the same time. So I'm just going to go ahead and have Garth draw something, and I'll change my color. I'll use blue, and he'll probably be using the default black. So you can see I'm drawing, and then I'm going to have him draw now, so you can see him draw at the same time that I am.
Well, actually, I'm not drawing. I decided to put on some images, so I'm going to put on a crown, which you saw up here on your screen, and I'm going to put that up by the Pope, so we can talk about, like, the Pope is the leader there. And then I'm going to draw, I'll be drawing, I guess, in purple. And so I want to get a wider screen than you have. Oops, who deleted something?
I accidentally did.
So actually, I'll just write my name. So here's Garth. And Travis, why don't you write your name so we can see that we are interacting over this whiteboard over about 140 miles. So the two of us are there. It looks like we can add text this way, so I'm going to add text that says, or actually, why don't you do that, Travis, since you have the name. Do a text square and actually add the name of the software we're playing with right now. You still there?
Yep.
Okay, so just hit that text and type the text in with the name. There it is. And is there a way to highlight on this software?
There is.
Highlight that name, so if people want to download.
Oops, sorry. Now, one thing that I have found that's cool is that if I delete something, okay, so hold on. So Garth just deleted all this. I'm going to hit the undo button on my end, and it's not going to undo it. But if Garth hits the undo button, it will bring everything back that he deleted. So go ahead and hit the undo button, Garth.
So there's what I just erased.
Yep. So you control your own undo button, and the erasing is a little tight, because if you miss the letter that you're trying to erase and you hit the picture in the background, you will erase the picture. But the undo button is, we'll bring all that back. I'm going to highlight. Whoops. I'm going to highlight Baiboard for you so you can see.
Wait a sec, let me undo that so it's there. Sorry. See, now I had the eraser in my hand on my end, so I touched my iPad and it deleted it.
So this is the highlighting. I should have changed the color. That way it would have looked like.
Why don't, yeah, undo that and just change your color.
Now, one thing that's worth mentioning is at the bottom left side, at this little square box. Can you see my cursor moving?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so at the square box, you can change the pages. So if I can go to page 2, it doesn't move the. It won't move the page on the other person. So like I'm looking at it on my computer screen and on my iPad. So my iPad is still stuck on page 1. So for us, we're gonna have to say, all right, when we go to do our video recording, we're gonna have to say, all right, Garth, let's move on to page 2 now. That way, he and I are both looking at the same thing. Otherwise, we could be looking at 2 different pages at the same time.
So let's explain what we're doing here. We both have iPads in front of us, and we shared with an iPad. So that way we can draw with our hands, we can add with our fingers. We then have a Google Hangout where we are screen sharing off the computer. So all 3 things are connected. The computer is connected to the 2 iPads. So we're doing all the work on an iPad, but it's appearing on the computer screen. That's the way we're going to do these computer-side chats for our Middle Ages unit. The idea being, Travis and I live 130, 150 miles apart. We can't meet to do this stuff, so how can we build these things electronically? And we found a way to actually do these together. So Mike and I originally started the computer-side chats as just audio. We were about 35, 40 miles apart, and we did them all as audio recordings. Now we're going to change some of them to audio recordings with these visuals where we're using a whiteboard in common so we can highlight things, we can point out different things. And I actually really like this idea that there's all these images, and so when we're talking about a knight, I can put the, I can put the horse in and have my knight built into the document. So when we're looking at the social hierarchy, now I have a horse I can talk about. Pretty interesting things. There's a lot of imagery in here that we'll be able to use for our class. I was surprised that there were 3 or 4 things about the Middle Ages. I would like more, but at least we got 3 or 4 to go with. You know, and we got the castle, so we can do the castle thing. So I like your little smiley face. So we're able to bring in some images, but the other thing is we're able to, as we're talking about, let's say the Pope, and I want to, you know, I want to key in on the idea of, you know, there's another idea I want about the Pope, and so if I can get this all to work, I put
yeah, and while he's looking for that to pull that up, I will mention that Baiboard's free. If you have a Chromebook, you'll have to download it in the Chromebook app, but if you have a Mac, you will have to download it in the Mac store. And Mr. Holman, we have somebody who just happened to walk in the room behind me, and since my screen's off, you can't see it, but Sib is here. You can say hi, Sib.
Oh, hi, Sib.
How are you?
Good. Waiting for my iWatch to come out.
Nerd.
Yeah. So as you can see here, we typed in, I used typing text, so we're able to type the text in, and that text appears up on the screen, so we can talk, have our conversation, and continue to do whiteboard activities together over distance. So I think that was the thrust. We wanted to make sure this would work, and it certainly looks like it works, correct?
Yeah, it looks...
Let me try one more thing as we're just playing to see if I can do one more thing with this before we move on. I want to add a blank page. Let's see. You duplicated this over. Here's a blank page. So I'm on page now, I think 4 or 5. And I'm going to see if I can add an image real quick so we could even pull up. I think this is the case. I want to go to my photo album, and it's not letting me here. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to import a picture from my photo album, which, by the way, these have nothing to do with the Middle Ages because mostly they're my kids taking pictures. So I will take a picture of my dog. And let's see if that appears on your screen. Go back one. Maybe we're too many.
Which page are you on?
I guess I don't know. There it is. So there's Woody. He needs to be rotated the right way. But that's pretty cool that we can also, and I'm manipulating that so it should move on your screen around the board. That's kind of cool. Oh, and look, you can blow up too by your 2 fingers. Let's see if that does that online. Doesn't look like it does it online there. I maximized it to where the only thing in my frame is Woody. And
yeah, I think that just does a zoom in on your iPad with the iPad features that are built into it. But we can give Woody some new eyebrows.
And how do we twist him around? I just want to see.
That's a great question.
No, I found it. So I got him upside down again, but not the right way. Not what I want.
Well, I might have moved him the same time you did, so.
All right, you don't move. Let me see if I can find the right. That's actually pretty hard because it's a sliding scale, so you can't tell where it's going to be until you stop. But the idea, we can now import any pictures we want. So if something comes up as we're talking, one of us can go grab a picture offline, slap it right up into our presentation, and be able to have a new discussion about that idea. So in this little broadcast, which we didn't make live on our, well, it's live streaming. We didn't do it on our website, but the idea is this is pretty cool. We certainly should be able to set aside some time and do the computer side chats using this interactive whiteboard over distance. Anything else you want to say, Travis?
No, I think you know, just more will be coming once we learn a little bit more about it, but it has some great potential.
I'll say this: do you mind doing like a little blurb, like a paragraph or 2 blurb on this, and then this is in the Teachers for Tomorrow account, and I'll just put it up on Teachers for Tomorrow. We'll do it as a post and slap it up there because I think this is interesting for people to see.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, I'll talk to you in a while. I'm going to stop broadcasting. We can chat for a few more minutes.
All right.